Jules van Dongen is a Dutch-American darts player who's now been on the PDC Tour for 4 years, and despite a tough start to life in the big leagues, at one point he was one of the top 10 most in-form players in the world according to the stats. However, for a while now he's been struggling with very bad dartitis issues around his grip, seeing him regularly put in some concerning averages in the 60s, and at the recent UK Open there was a very sad moment, as during his first round game, in which his average dipped below 60 at times, he broke down in tears. Hello and welcome back to the Darts World channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the great rise and very sad downfall of Jules van Dongen, including hearing about the issue from the man himself. Jules was born in the Netherlands in 1990 and was gifted a dartboard as a child, playing regularly to avoid studying. He moved to the USA in 2013 and competed in amateur events in Missouri, travelling with some other Dutch expats. He had limited success at these events, but his darts career really took off in 2020 due to the pandemic. This was because Jules worked in hospitality at the time and had a lot of time off during the lockdowns, allowing him to practice a lot and play online before playing in some bigger in-person events when they returned. Jules represents the US rather than the Netherlands, but uses the nickname the Dutch Dragon. His big breakthrough came in 2021 when he managed to win a tour card for the CDC, the North American Tour, by reaching the semi-finals of one of their Q-Score events, in which he was averaging in the mid to low 80s. Jules missed the first block of events, but then debuted at the CDC's match play event, where he made an instant impact and picked up the title, beating legend Larry Butler 8-7 in the final and posting an average of 104 in a whitewash win in the semis. That year, he also managed to win WDF titles at the Cherry Bomb International and Charlotte and Seacoast Opens, meaning he picked up the joint most WDF titles of any male player that year. He also managed to hit a 9-darter in a webcam game on Facebook, with his improvement being clear to see, as he was now regularly averaging in the 90s. He began 2022 by attending PDCQ school for the first time over in Germany, where on the first day, he got one of the easiest wins in PDC history, as his opponent forfeited after throwing just 3 darts and scoring 18. Jules said that the player even brought him a beer to score the next game on the board for him. He comfortably made it to the final stage and then won a 2-year PDC Tour card through the Order of Merit with a day to spare. Following this success, Jules said that he wanted to commit fully to the tour instead of working on the side, meaning that he was going to practice much more. At the UK Open, Jules managed to win his first PDC major game in a deciding leg with a 1-2-4 checkout against Mario van der Bahara. That year, he only managed to qualify for one Eurotour, the Czech Open, where on his Eurotour debut, he managed to beat Brett Claydon 6-2 before losing to Rob Cross. Across the Players' Championship season, he averaged 88.65, the 103rd highest of 129 players to play over 25 games. He disappointingly only managed to win his first game in 7 of the 30 events, didn't make it past the last 64 once, and at one point went on a 13-match losing run. That meant he didn't qualify for either the Players' Championship finals or Ali Pali, having earned just under $9,000 in ranking prize money, meaning he had a lot to do in year 2 if he wanted to keep his tour card. He struggled again at the start of 2023, but by September a surge began and he reached 3 Players' Championship last 16s in 5 events, putting in some impressive 10+ averages. Around that time, according to the stats, he was the 6th most in-form player in the world in terms of averages, and in October he managed to show that on the stage, comfortably winning his first game against Patrick Kovacs at the German Championship before averaging 101.32 to beat Danny Noppert, who averaged a ton himself, 6-2. He ended up narrowly losing to Stephen Bunting in a deciding leg. That meant that he qualified for Ali Pali for the first time, giving him a shot at retaining his tour card, and he got a relatively easy round 1 draw against Darren Pennell, for which he was the 1.42 favourite. However, he ended up losing 3-1, averaging 90, which meant that despite improving a lot and earning much more money in year 2, he finished 78th on the Order of Merit and lost his tour card. But the start of 2024 then brought some good news, as just before Q-School, Jules was signed to major darts brand Winmore, saying that he was excited for the next chapter. And that new chapter got off to a great start, as he managed to win his tour card straight back at Q-School through the Order of Merit. It was basically confirmed after just 2 days, and fans were now keen for him to push on and show his improved form from the get-go. However, what people didn't realise at that time was that JVD's downfall began at that Q school, as he later revealed that it was there when he began to struggle with the grip of the dart and the twist he does pre-throw. He had to adjust his throw to make sure that he could even hit the board at times, and after initially thinking it was just a grip issue, he came to the conclusion that he had the yips or dartitis. He was also struggling mentally as his mum was ill and he was struggling to sleep due to the stress, leading to him having to find a sports psychologist. That year, his average in Players' Championships fell massively to just 80.04, the lowest of any player. He only managed to win 3 games and pulled out of 4 events due to his struggles. He also didn't qualify for a single Euro Tour. At one of the events, he averaged just 62.32 in a 6-2 loss to Scott Williams. In season 1 of his second stint on the tour, he earned just £4,000, and he later called on the PDC to make changes to the prize money structure to make the tour more financially sustainable for lower ranked players. At the end of the year, he posted this video showing his struggles and how he was considering changing to play left-handed. He added the sound effects to the video himself.
The main thing I'm struggling with, and I'll show you when I hold it with my left. I have to hold it in the thumb, and roll it back and forth. I can pretty much manipulate however way I want to hold it. I do with my right, my finger rolls in, and now I'm physically trying to get it back, and my finger will not let me. I cannot set it in my finger. It is probably 100% mental, but it doesn't change the fact that I can't roll my thumb. I can't roll it in my thumb. If you know, even in my basement, I can't do it.
He hasn't actually changed to throw with his left hand this year, and so far he's played 4 Players' Championship games, losing all 4 and averaging in the mid to high 60s every time. He also lost in the first round of 4 Euro Tour qualifiers, with only one average above 70 and a low of 62.55. He has joked about the form, saying how he is now Mr. Consistency. This tweet sums it up best. His average between 2022 and 2023 was 90.3, but in 2024 and 2025, that's fallen to 81.05, and that's only going to get a lot worse as it's being held up by his performances at the start of last year, and he hasn't averaged over 90 since April 2024. Then, over the weekend, it was the UK Open, Jules' first major of the season, and he was drawn against former tour card holder Simon Stevenson, who in his period of great form, Jules would have been a big favourite against. But it quickly became clear he had no chance, as due to the dartitis, he wasn't throwing with the usual twist in his throw, instead throwing quickly but inaccurately, seeing him go 3-0 down with an average of around 60. It was at this point that he began to cry during the game, a very sad sight. The crowd in the Minehead multi-board area were getting behind him as a result. He went on to lose 6-0 and was clearly still very emotional. He finished with an average of just over 61. Fans have been very supportive on social media, and Jules has thanked them, saying that he was trying. I also want to send my best wishes to Jules. I hope he manages to get over this. A great example would be Berry Van Peer, who had a very similar public battle with dartitis, but is now back competing at a high level. If you found this video informative, please don't forget to subscribe, as it really helps the channel out, and currently, just 15% of my views are. You can also hit the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a brand new darts video. Please also leave a like if you found this video helpful, and you can comment down below giving me any video ideas you want me to make.